What's up, everyone? Tera Roberts and Howard Bender here again for the Thursday night pregame show for Fantasy Alarm. We are taking your questions live in the Fantasy Alarm Discord. So go ahead, jump in, get your start sit questions in there, trade questions. We're approaching deadlines, so I know you've got them all. Rest of season questions, DFS questions, all your questions. Let's go in the Fantasy Alarm Discord in the live stream Q&A section. We will be getting to those in just a moment. And of course, we are here to preview the pregame here for the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. But before we dive into that game, because oddly enough, there might be a lot to digest with this one because it is an interesting matchup between these two teams, these two defenses that are kind of shaky on one end and shaky on the other end. But I thought we would go and kick things off in the saddest way possible with all of the crazy injuries that have happened here, Howard. I mean, it has been absolute madness. I'm getting so many comments from people who've said like the combination of people that went out has just literally kicked their fantasy teams potentially out of the playoffs. And it's sad. I mean, there are ways to recover. We can work on things. So if you've got, your Cooper Kupps and your Dallas Goederts and everything, jump in here, ask your questions. We can try to get you through because it's been absolute madness. I mean, we'll start off with a big one, obviously. Cooper Kupp going down is just painful. There's no way to replace a Cooper Kupp. But how are we tackling this LA offense now? Because we have Allen Robinson, we've got Van Jefferson back, we've got Ben Skoranek, we've got the run game here, we've got Daryl Henderson, Cam Akers, Kyron Williams, we've got Tyler Higbee. It's a crew. It's a crew. Is there anyone that you think is going to maybe jump out and kind of take this? Or are we going to see a catastrophic failure of the LA offense with Cooper Kupp on?
Well, I definitely think that we're going to see a partial catastrophic failure of this offense. But I mean, listen, I'm not going to be the bearer of doom and gloom. I think Van Jefferson can actually get some decent targets in this offense and be a person whom Matt Stafford knows that he can rely on. You'd love to be able to go and say Allen Robinson's going to step up and be the number one, but I mean, this dude gets no separation whatsoever anymore, and he's kind of fallen out of favor. So for me, I'm looking at this offense and I'm saying that Jefferson is going to be somebody you're going to want to have interest in. Skoranek, if you're in a very deeper league. Tyler Higbee, I think, is where I'm looking. Yeah. I mean, the offensive line is not that great, and this hodgepodge group of running backs, not strong at all. I'm sorry. I mean, people go bonkers over Kyron Williams. The dude is he's like Gio Bernard light, and I don't really understand why everybody is so crazy into this guy. Maybe he can be a decent pass catching back, as an option, but I mean, the dude is small, and the dude's going to get hit, and the dude's going to get hurt. So I can't really buy into this ground game. So for me, if I'm looking at this Rams offense, it's going to be Jefferson, and it's going to be Higbee, and everybody else is just going to kind of, to me, fall to the wayside, at least until the possibility of Cooper Kupp coming back, which probably doesn't even look good in that point either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know. I agree with you. I have not been on the go jump, and I can't say I've had a single waiver wire video where I'm like, man, y'all got to jump on Kyron Williams. Just because I think people don't realize that I don't think the capability of him being a 3-down back exists. So at best, you're looking at just an ugly 3-man committee. We do not see success with 3-man committees in the NFL from a fantasy perspective. So, and especially with an awful offensive line. So this is just a bad situation. I'm with you. I think Higbee is the guy who's going to get the uptick here in targets. And we know if the volume hits him, especially with everything that's going on right now in tight end, he's someone that you definitely want to roster. I am holding out hope maybe that Allen Robinson, although not too much hope, because I did just swap him out in a super shallow league for, not super shallow, but a shallow league for Kadarius Toney immediately. But I am holding out hope that maybe, because you mentioned Allen Robinson just can't get separation. So maybe if they increase his usage a little bit more underneath and don't send him out long, and maybe help, having Van Jefferson can help out with that, because it's obviously just not a skill set that Allen Robinson has. So maybe there can be a little bit of increase in production from him if he takes more out, takes more of the underneath routes. So that's the only hope I'm holding out for him. But I agree, Higbee makes the most sense, especially when you're looking at all these other injuries that are happening at tight end. We've got Zach Ertz out for the whole season. Dallas Goedert on IR. We don't, again, these IRs that are coming in right now, we don't really know exactly how long they're going to extend. So you got to be careful with these guys that you're planning on maybe holding on to if you don't have IR spots, because it's a realistic possibility that they might not actually be back for your playoff run. Like I was looking at Khalil Herbert, who was going to be out and put on IR. Even at best, he is looking at a week 16 comeback. So because of the bye week. So you're getting these kind of weird situations where these guys that are being put on IR might not be usable fantasy assets for you for the rest of the season through the playoffs. But we got Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, Cole Kmet, whose injury was not serious after the game, but now he is not practicing. So we've got one of those, another, possible situation that you have to worry about a little bit. Gerald Everett a little banged up as well. So, I mean, we're on short supply here. We're hopeful that Mark Andrews is going to come back this week, but he's still, limited. So we don't know exactly how much he will be involved. So it's just kind of a weird situation where, like, for me, I'm not recommending anybody cut tight ends. Like, you need to hold on tight to the guy that you got, because the waivers
I've been saying this forever.
Yeah,
it's like, stop swapping them out. Stop trying to trade. This guy didn't work this week or this guy didn't work that week. And you know what cracks me up even more, Tara, sorry to interrupt, is just like people are sitting there with Goddard and Ertz hurt. Like, they're elevating the other tight ends as if those other tight ends had any kind of value to them at all. Like that their value is suddenly going to increase. No, they're all garbage. They're all like, get whatever you can. Like, all these people are like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to, Evan Engram. And I'm like, the dude's a top 10 tight end.
Yeah.
What don't you want? What is your problem? Would you rather sit there and be like, I'll go Will Disley this week. I'll go, I don't even know, Foster Moreau next week. Oh, let me try Logan Thomas this week. And you keep cycling through. Stop it.
Yeah.
Find a guy who gets targets and just leave him in your lineup. He's probably going to be garbage some weeks. He's probably going to be pretty good some weeks. So accept the garbage.
Yes.
That's what this whole position's all about.
Exactly. Oh, man. And then tilting over, we've got a little bit less severe from a fantasy perspective, particularly in shallow leagues. But Mecole Hardman had been coming on fairly strong in terms of his production in the red zone, a serious red zone target for Patrick Mahomes. Now he is on IR. We've got Juju Smith-Schuster that has the concussion. He's not practicing. I would not expect him back this week. So people were kind of going back and forth on Tony, but we've got a pretty clear situation here where the wide receiver core is going to be MVS and Kadarius Toney. Wait, how comfortable do you feel with Toney? Is he a clear, what are you at a wide receiver 2 territory, or are you still at a wide receiver 3 territory with him?
I don't think anything's really that clear with them, except for the fact that Hardman landed on IR. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Juju gets concussion clearance. Not after what we saw. Yeah. I think it would be wrong to just give him clearance. That is. So I'm okay with Kadarius Toney. Listen, I was never like crazy about Kadarius Toney. When he went with the Giants, everybody was like, oh, we've got a playmaker. And, he was like labeled as the Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. And it's like, can he? Because we don't want him to do it all. We want him to come in as a rookie, and we want him to learn the position and play properly. But when you get a rookie who's like, he's doing kick returns and punt returns and and doing other special teams work, you're taking him away from focusing on the offense. So now he's left the Giants. He's with the Chiefs. I do feel like they are sort of leaning towards utilizing him in the offense just because of the way the injuries happen. However, here's another kick in the huevos rancheros, and just wondering what's going to happen in Kansas City, because I just heard that they said that they're looking for somebody else to do kick returns besides Isaiah Pacheco, which to me says we want Pacheco to focus on the offense as our lead running back. Yes, please. It's against the Chargers this week. We want that. But if they turn around and they're like, well, yeah, Kadarius Toney's going to return some kicks for us, then would be like, stop.
Yeah.
Let him be a wide receiver. So I guess for the sake of argument here, listen, I do think that he ranks inside that top 25 overall as a starting wide receiver for the Chiefs this week. I just want it to stay. I just want it. I want that to let Mahomes hone in on him, let them get that familiarity in the offense. Because how long did it take for us to be like, okay, after Kelsey it's Juju, and after Juju it's Hardman. We're good. We know what's going on. Now they take away Juju and Hardman, so we're trying to figure it out. If it's going to be Tony, let it be Tony and just stick with him.
I agree. And then we've got A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. So I do an injury report every single week. And let me tell you, the healthiest team by far the entire season, the Eagles were unblemished all season long. And they have been hit so hard right now. So we've got A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, both dealing with injuries. Man, a lot of people are, wondering, Jalen Hurts and his pass volume has kind of dipped down a little bit. Rush yards have dipped down a little bit. Things getting a little bit shaky. You've got guys like Justin Fields that are coming on strong, people trying to make trades. I don't know. It's something we have to pay attention to because we don't know a lot about it right now, but guys, just, follow it, pay attention to it. We've also got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen potentially coming back. This would be wonderful if it was not a Sunday night game. That is not, the most ideal situation with trying to figure out if we're able to start Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, or Josh Palmer. If on Sunday, early Sunday, we hear that both these guys are going to play, are you comfortable starting both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
If they're both back, they're both back. I definitely listen. If they're both back, there's zero chance of starting Joshua Palmer. DeAndre Carter doesn't exist in my world anymore. Yeah, and I'm lucky if I even think that Gerald Everett might sniff a target at all. I think if these guys are back, let's face it. The NFL flexed this game from the afternoon to the Sunday night game. Now, all of a sudden, you got Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. They're back at practice. You got Mahomes on the other side. We'll see what happens with Kadarius Toney. Isaiah Pacheco is suddenly at the everybody wants this game to pop, and everybody wants this game to happen. And so, I think that we will see Allen and Williams back, and that'll kill the side value of the other guys, and we just kind of roll with it. I don't know. Would you sit Williams or Allen? Let's look at some of the options who we would consider sitting them for. I don't really think that there's much outside that top 20 of receivers that I would really feel comfortable saying, yeah, I'm going to put this guy on the bench and make sure that I get Keenan Allen in there.
I'm comfortable with Mike Williams if he's good to go, but I have some trauma from the last reemergence of Keenan Allen and saying, because I too was gung-ho, it's Keenan Allen, he's good to go. I'm stuck. They wouldn't play him if he wasn't ready to go. But although he did say, I will not play again unless I am 100% healthy. So I want to trust Keenan Allen. But I feel like he did this to me last season too. I feel like there was one game last season where he was like, I'm good to go, and he was not.
That is true. That did happen last year. I can confirm. I don't recall the week.
Yeah.
But I got into it also.
Yes. Oh, but like a fool, I'll probably go back to Keenan Allen because it's Keenan Allen, and we've been waiting so long for him. But I think that covers all the big injuries that we want to dive into, although we could get memory jog here as we go along. But before we dive into the Discord questions, we're talking about our Thursday night game here between the Packers and the Tennessee Titans, who are both, hey, coming on a little strong here, feeling good. Aaron Rodgers, a little bounce back situation. Maybe got himself a deep threat not a Devontae Adams replacement, but somebody else that can catch the ball and actually provide some spark in this offense. We had Christian Watson with the big 3-touchdown game, which was pretty impressive considering we've seen a lot of stats bouncing around in terms of the importance of this kind of game and trying to predict what kind of future he could have. We can't expect this level of performance from him on a weekly basis, but this was critical to see that perhaps he can have some, retained trust with Aaron Rodgers, because that's the key here with Aaron Rodgers. You got to have the trust with him for him to continue to come back to you and trust you. And after a game like that, I'm feeling pretty positive about it. We've got Romeo Doubs that is out, and we do have Randall Cobb coming back from IR, although that's maybe like more of a DFS kind of thing we'll talk about in a little bit. But Allen Lazard as well. Who are you favoring in this offense? Are you going with the rookie hot hand, high upside, deep threat, or are you going back to old reliable Allen Lazard?
I'm going back to old reliable Allen Lazard. I mean, listen, I get it. It's always it's always super exciting when a guy has like a big 3-touchdown game like that, and everybody starts oohing and ahhing over it, and it's it's nice to have. It definitely is, but you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, in certain cases as well. Now, listen, here's the thing is that the Titans secondary is bad. And so that definitely, it retains some value for Christian Watson. I'm not going to say that that Christian Watson is suddenly the number one in this offense, because Allen Lazard is still the guy who's playing, nearly 100% of the snaps.
Yes.
And Allen Lazard is the guy who usually sees the targets lead for the team. Now, Watson had 8 targets to Lazard's 4 in this big 3-touchdown game. But I mean, like, are we just going to throw away everything that we've seen from Allen Lazard so that we can hop on board with the flavor of the week and Christian Watson? Like, I have a hard time doing that. I don't think that the Packers are going to do that. But, but I do think because of what the matchup is, I think that Watson does have value. And, if you're looking at him, like where to start him, I feel like, he is. He's a top 25, maybe top 30 wide receiver for this week in this matchup. But, I mean, if you're asking me who I want for DFS purposes, like for the Showdown slate, I'm all in on Allen Lazard because everybody's going to be on Christian Watson. Yeah. It's like the cheapest, easiest. Oh man, I'm building a Showdown lineup while we're gonna talk, just because of that. Just because, and you know what? I think I might just put Allen Lazard into my captain seat.
Oh, I like it.
Right? Spicy. Nobody else is gonna do it.
I mean, he's so reliable. And the thing about it, when you think about Allen Lazard and you look at last week, you got to remember he had the difficult matchup. He was being shadowed. You were, hey, he's a good receiver, but obviously that was just a shutdown situation that led to Christian Watson being able to go off. And so I think this is a good situation for him to bounce back, because when we talk about these two defenses, the Titans are really good against the run. So while I'm not kind of discounting, Aaron Jones is still someone that I'm starting. I wouldn't expect him to get a ton of work on the ground. Obviously, he has the pass catching upside that still makes him a constant RB1 threat. So this is not a, red flag run away from Aaron Jones, but it's a, hey, red alert that this is a pass friendly situation for Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard as well. So we cannot forget Allen Lazard in this. So I agree with you. This is a nice bounce back situation to Allen Lazard, probably a touchdown. It makes a lot of sense. And then on the opposite end, when you look at Green Bay's defense, complete opposite, obviously very stout against the pass and the run, not so much. Is Derrick Henry a must-have in your lineup?
Yeah, I kind of feel like he should be. Yeah. Don't you? I feel like when we look at Derrick Henry, I mean, the Packers rank 30th in DVOA against the run. They're giving up I think it's like 130 rushing yards per game, something like 12 or 13 rushing touchdowns. I don't have the number. Do I have the numbers right in front of me? I should have the numbers right in front. Tara, why don't I have the numbers right in front of me?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. They give up 140.6 rushing yards per game, which is 7th most in the league, and they've allowed 9 rushing touchdowns. So, yes, give me all the Derrick Henry that you can give me in this sad, horrendous world in which we live.
I agree. Any interest in, so when we look at on the opposite end, for the pass game for the Titans, which is generally atrocious. We had a weird situation where, defensively they were able to shut down Derrick Henry last week, and Ryan Tannehill and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine went off. I'm not really interested in Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Or any interest in Treylon Burks?
All right, so I guess a little bit. I mean, in order for Derrick Henry to get shut down, Green Bay needs to sell out to stop the run, which means that they've got to move to straight man coverage. Jair Alexander on who? I don't know, Robert Woods, Rasul Douglas on Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, and then who knows with Treylon Burks. However they want to set that up, that's like they need to guarantee that that's going to work for them. Like Denver did it last week because they had Surtain and they're good solid cover corners, so they can sell out to stop the run, which is what they did. Does Green Bay have the quarters to be able to do that, so that way they can kind of force that situation again as well? You're our resident Packers. I don't want to put you on the spot here with your homerism, but I mean, do the Green Bay corners have the ability to handle this passing attack in single man coverage?
Yes. But so I'm confident in that, but what I'm not confident in is that really going to make a difference for the run game for them to be able to stop Derrick Henry? So even if they're able to say we have the ability to one-on-one shut these guys down, let's focus on stopping Derrick Henry, I don't know if they can still do it.
Damn. Well, that's a shame then. Then that means your front seven is garbage and your safeties aren't helping.
Yeah, that's like a really accurate statement.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Green Bay. That's terrible. Well, then I have very minimal interest in Treylon Burks and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine and Robert Woods now. I hate them all.
Oh man.
So bad.
Any interest in Robert Tonyan?
Ugh, no. That poor guy. Try as he might, he just can't get it done. I think we're all done with the Robert Tonyan experiment there.
Yes.
I think listen. I think we'll see some Aaron Jones, and we'll get some pass catching work from him. Lazard, Watson, they both eat. That's the passing attack there. That's the offense for Green Bay. On the Tennessee side, you gotta love Derrick Henry. If I'm going to throw a wide receiver dart at anybody, it is actually going to be Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I'm not going to be happy about it. But, I mean, Robert Woods is just, sadly, he's done. Yeah. And, as much as I like Treylon Burks, I just think that, he's missed so much time now. And it's just, I don't feel like he's, hey, I can come back from injury and score 3 touchdowns type of a guy. I think more like, hey, I can give you 4 catches for 48 yards if you want.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I mean, I feel like he has the capability in theory, but the problem is that he's just the Titans. They almost feel like they're limiting him and protecting him, trying to keep him just like a little bit at bay here. Like they don't give him the opportunity really to get out there. And we see Robert Woods making 0 impact. He's unfortunately cooked, but he's out there the vast majority of but there's no value in it. You can be out there for literally 80+% of snaps, and there's just no value in it at all. Crazy. So yeah, so you would say what's your
very upsetting stuff.
It is. We want more for him. So what's your lineup looking like?
You know what? It's not really building very well.
Hmm.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Alan Lazard in the captaincy, Derrick Henry, Aaron Rodgers, Christian Watson. And then that doesn't really leave me a whole hell of a lot. So I can go with Josh Lambo, uh, who's going to be kicking for Tennessee tonight, and then I can throw in Dontrell Hilliard, so that maybe I can handle some of the extra running work there for Tennessee. It's not a great lineup though. I'm not pleased with it. I'll say that.
It's tough because neither of the kickers inspire me. Like, I'm not feeling like neither one of these kickers I feel like are guys that are, unless it's a very, it's a Thursday night game, so maybe that flips, but neither one of them have a history of really doing anything, in this year in particular, doing anything spectacular.
Well,
And
Lambo's just coming in
yeah.
for Bullock, who's I think a hamstring issue is what Randy Bullock has. So, you know, I liked
Mhm.
Lambo when he was kicking for the Chargers, and then all of a sudden he like missed a kick and then couldn't kick
Again,
straight
yeah.
for like a week or two, and then they just kind of dumped him. I mean, he made an appearance with the Jags at some point, but kind of popped off. What's your lineup look like? You're the one. You're the one who like crushes with these lineups.
So now, granted, I haven't had a chance to look at. I like to look at ownership percentages, and I have not had a chance to look at that. But I would take a wild guess and say that Derrick Henry is number one. So I'm not going to go that
Christian Watson
direction.
number two.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I'm actually going to go the Aaron Rodgers in the captain position. I am going to bank on the Packers throwing aggressively and going with Aaron Rodgers in the captain position, and then I can include both Alan Lazard and Christian Watson. And my little cheap kicker is that I am putting Randall Cobb into the lineup at $200 on DraftKings. He is
Oh, is
confirmed
Cobb
to
only
go. Yeah,
200?
he is confirmed good to go. He is
Oh,
playing. It's a little $200 Randall Cobb. Get everything a little so that I can do Derrick Henry. And you convinced me on Nick Westbrook-Akina. You know what? I was like, you know what? You're right. The upside. Is there really upside with Traylon Burks? No. So yeah, if I'm going for that upside, then I need to go with Nick Westbrook-Akina. Although I do like the idea of Dontrell Hilliard because this could be a game where we see him get 4 receptions for I don't know 60 yards and a touchdown. That like this it feels like a game where that could happen. So I could either go that
oh,
direction,
really? Damn. See, now you're messing with my mind here, Tara, because
but
you just hit me with the Randall Cobb, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay,
mhm,
Lazard in the captaincy, Derrick Henry, Aaron Rodgers, Nick Westbrook Akine, Christian Watson, and Randall Cobb.
mhm,
Yum yum, give me some. But
yeah.
now you're like, oh well, maybe you go with the Dontrell Hilliard. Why are we going with Dontrell Hilliard?
It could be one of those games for him. I mean, when we look at that, it's risky, but it does make sense because we have seen him get aggressively involved, not aggressively, but aggressively-ish involved from a pass catching perspective. And if they go tandem and try and throw him in on a third down here and there, I can see him popping one off on this defense.
Am I gonna leave $4,300 on the table
Yeah,
just to?
that's what you hate to do. Like the pricing is weird, but I do like the upside of Nick Westbrook-Akina, so I kind of lean that direction.
Nope, nope. I'm going with my original lineup now. Now you've hurt me to no end. You're
Because you
messing
want to
with
go
my
with
mind with
Hilliard.
the Randall Cobb entry. So I'm going to go with Randall Cobb, right? Instead of using Josh Lambo. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should just
Mm,
use Josh Lambo and not use Randall Cobb.
yeah,
You're killing me.
makes
You're
sense.
killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I saw Randall Cobb at 200 and my heart was set on it uh,
I'm
earlier
sure. I'm
today.
sure. I'm going Josh Lambo, and you can't change my mind now.
Yeah. If I went with a kicker, it would be Josh Lambo. It would not be Mason Crosby. I just don't see a situation where Crosby is getting you more than what, 8, 9 fantasy points. It's like, okay, I can get that from several other people.
Preach, lady. Preach.
Yes. I think we got some good options here. Do you want to dive into Discord? As we were talking, I did a uninstall and reboot. I don't know why I have so many technical problems. I'm the least technical human being in the world. I opened up Discord. The screen was there, but it was like not there. Like it was blacked out. And I was like, so I tried to uninstall, reinstall, and now we're good to go. So yeah, we can go ahead and jump into Discord with the first question from Home Run. Hi, Tara and Howard. We need one wide receiver. Christian Watson tonight, Kadarius Toney, or Rondale Moore. Maybe no Kyler. This combination will be so prevalent for a lot of people. Do you prefer? Well, for me, right off the bat, this one is a tough one because Kyler or no Kyler. I still believe that Rondale Moore is clocking in at a solid 20 in full PPR. So I still lean that direction. What do you feel about those three?
I rank them Toney, Moore, Watson. I get exactly what you're saying with Rondale Moore. I don't care if it's Colt McCoy or if it's Kyler Murray under center. The job is, he's doing what he's doing right now, and that's, even Marquise Hollywood Brown could come back because it's a Monday night game, so maybe that kind of pulls a little bit of a target share away from him. But that's why I'm locking down on Toney. Again, I think that, I doubt Juju plays, and we already know Mecole Hardman's out. We saw some good work between Mahomes and Toney last week, and I think this game is supposed to be the AFC West matchup that we've been waiting for this entire season, watching this division that was supposed to be so amazing, which is complete cockapoo right now.
Yes. Yeah, if we can get, this would be such an interesting game if we get Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back, because Kansas City's defense has been atrocious. So, provide everything could swing the right way for this to finally be a beautiful shootout. How do you like Justin Herbert this week?
I always like Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, just a good, solid QB. He gets his targets. He's healthy now. If he gets his guys back, that's great. If he doesn't, I mean, listen, he's gelled with Josh Palmer. Yeah. And last week it was, him and DeAndre Carter were like the best of friends. And then even, here's the thing, even if the wide receivers are all banged up, he still has an amazing pass-catching running back in Austin Eckler. So if he feeds Eckler 10 to 12 targets, I'll take that.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. It increases my chances for some passing touchdowns. So I will side with Justin Herbert always. He's my quarterback.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Next question from Lentil. If Juju and Judy happen to play, I need to bench one between Gallup, Judy, Lazard, Campbell, and Juju.
Well, I probably Judy is to sit. Judy is definitely the guy to sit. Juju is probably. I mean, I know that you're asking if they happen to play. I don't think they do.
I mean, so
if they both happen to play, well, then I'll go with Lazard and I'll go Juju. If neither of them play, which I don't think either of them are going to, I'm going to say Lazard and Campbell.
Yeah. I would prefer to go Lazard and Campbell as well. It is a difficult matchup, but Paris Campbell has just been, phenomenal with Matt Ryan. So, and I can't trust Michael Gallup at all. So I lean that same direction as you. And then if I lose Judy and Juju this week, do I play Hines or drop him to pick up Richie James, Damiere Byrd, Justin Watson, Jahan Dotson, Laviska Shenault, Caleb Huntley, James Cook.
All right, this is why Lentil's got the greatest running back room in the history of Fantasy Alarm, people, because this group of wide receivers or pickups is just dog crap.
Yes.
Do I play Hines? Do I pick up any of these guys? How about Damiere Byrd?
That's
because Chicago's pass defense sucks.
Yeah,
maybe.
I do. My favorite streamer of the week is besides Daniel Jones, I do like Daniel Jones this week, but is Marcus Mariota. Yes, it's a good Daniel Jones setup. I like this setup for him, but I do like Marcus Mariota in this game because if you look at the potential game script here. There's Now, granted, it could happen, but I just don't see any realistic possibility that Atlanta's defense can stop Justin Fields. Like, I don't see how that could happen. So I feel like this is going to be a point chasing situation. We did see a little bit more pass volume out of Atlanta last week. It worked well ish. So maybe we see that again. So
it worked well-ish.
Well-ish, hey. Drake London came to life, so it was all right. It was all right. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, these are kind of, Demir Bird is really the only, but I feel like, I feel like Hines is going to come along at some point in this offense. Not
I don't know. I mean, is he?
But I feel like he has to be above James Cook at some point. Although I still lean towards Singletary.
I
clearly,
guess, but like Cook is the future. Hines is he's an undersized pass catching running back, and that's. I mean, it's a very specific niche role. So is that what we're looking at against? Who the hell is who the hell are the Bills? Oh, the Browns. Like, is that going to work against the Browns? Are we in on the pass catching running backs? I just don't know. Like, I don't think so. Because I think you've got so much speed on those edge rushers for Cleveland that I just don't like. I feel like running it up the gut with Singletary is much more of the play. So. Yeah, I can't get with Hines. I do like the idea of adding Dotson off of waivers. Coming back. There is a possibility we do see Carson Wentz. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he and Dotson had a pretty good rapport early on in the season.
I hope we don't see Carson Wentz. Terry McLaurin has been wonderful lately. I can't. Please.
Oh,
no.
I know, right?
Please no.
That's funny. I would say this, just to kind of close out this conversation here with Lentil. I would say that I think you can get rid of Hines. I could do Dotson in this matchup. I wouldn't hate using Huntley, only because Chicago's run defense is so bad. And Arthur Smith is like, oh, I've got 3 running backs I can use. Oh, and he uses them all. So, I feel like that's kind of a situation that we're looking at. So that's kind of where I would lean.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, he has more juice than Algier. He doesn't get more touches than Algier, but he does have more juice to pop one off. So that makes sense to me. One more from Lento. Need a running back in flex, full PPR. Dameon Pierce, Brian Robinson, James Robinson, Alan Lazard, George Pickens, Traylon Burks.
I feel like you just got to use the running backs. I want to use Lazard tonight, but Dameon Pierce, it's a tough matchup for Pierce against Washington, especially if Chase Young is going to be back. Brian Robinson, listen, if you're just running against Houston.
Yeah.
I threw this actually out to John and Pemba earlier today. So let me ask you this here, Tara. Because we've all been like, run against Houston. There was 1 week where running against Houston was not the answer. And that was the Jacksonville Jaguars, where we watched James Robinson and Travis Etienne both stink up the field. And the Jags ended up getting blown out in this game against Houston. So is Brian Robinson and and Antonio Gibson, is that the curse? Is that the play of the week, or is that the sucker's bet of the week? I feel like it's the play of the week.
Yeah, I can see where it's the sucker's bet of the week, but it's the play of the week for me. I think they're both viable options. I love the way that they were utilized last week. It was perfection. Both utilized in the correct way, both look fantastic. So against in a good matchup, I'm very willing to roll with both of them. So So I see what you're saying about going with both the running backs. I do like Lazard. I want to go ahead and go with Lazard, but then I get torn because you're right. When we look at Dameon Pierce versus Brian Robinson, this one is technically closer than you would think because Brian Robinson, better matchup, more opportunity for a potential touchdown. Dameon Pierce, we know for a fact that even in a bad matchup, he still gets burned. So we're not concerned about that. But does he have the upside to be able to get a touchdown to take him over that 13 fantasy point upside area? So it's Lazard for sure for me, and then I'm super torn between Dameon Pierce and Brian Robinson.
All right. Well, I'll side with you on Lazard 100%. I'll be in on that. And I'm going to lean Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean Brian Robinson. I just, I feel like that front seven for Washington with Chase Young back is going to be tough. It's going to be fierce. And we'll just kind of hope for the best. By the way, how do you love the Philadelphia Eagles being like, oh, you want to just run it up the gut against us? Well, let's put Ndamukong Suh in the middle and see what you guys think. Like, is that not the rich getting richer in football? Come on.
You know what? You go out there and you make your moves. And I wish the Packers were like this, man. You need to go out, make your moves to shore up whenever. So, yeah, I like it. They said, hey, we got a problem. Let's fix it. I like it, man. Good for them. Because you saw a lot of chinks in the armor, and they had to go in and say, hey, man, we've got this. We can fix this. It's all right. Very interesting.
Is right.
Very interesting. I like it. I like it organizationally. Next question from, let's skip down. Yeah, things not looking good for Judy. 2 straight. Yeah. Next question from Hots03. Hey, guys, would you play any of the following over Rodgers tonight? Mariota, Heineke, Goff, have Kyler, who is hurt.
Like, why don't you just pick up Colt McCoy?
That's a good point. Why
don't you just, like, if you've got Kyler Murray, pick up Colt McCoy, you could dump Rodgers, and then that way you've got Arizona's starting quarterback no matter what. You don't like that?
I really like Rodgers this week. I really like Rodgers this week.
Oh, homer.
And now granted, upcoming after that, Philadelphia, Chicago bye week, LA. But playoff schedule. That's I mean, like Miami, Minnesota. I don't know. I'm looking ahead to the playoffs and I'm seeing things. But yeah, you're right. You could just go with Colt McCoy if Kyler doesn't play. Because it's seeming more and more like it's a realistic pop. Like we got the news, the words that were coming out about Kyler early in the week were so negative. Like it's going to be another week. It's going to be another week. But here he is. It's feeling a lot more positive. So rather than going ahead,
he was back at practice today. Yeah. Absolutely.
So rather than locking yourself in with Rodgers, you could technically just say, hey, there's probably going to be a 5-point difference between what you get from Colt McCoy and what you get from Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I kind of find it very, very funny that everybody's been crapping all over Aaron Rodgers the entire season. And then he has one game where he throws for 3 touchdowns. Right, and it's only 224 yards too. It's not like the dude lit up a defense for 304. No, it was 224 and 3 touchdowns against Dallas, and he threw it to one receiver, and that was it. And we know that you can beat the Dallas receivers deep because they like to jump the routes and they go for the interceptions all the time. So why all of a sudden we went from this dude is the only dude to ever take hallucinogenic drugs and come out less cool on the other side, and now all of a sudden he's everybody's hero and we want to go with him. So I just have a hard time with that. I think if you want to play Kyler and he's your go-to guy, I don't have a problem waiting for him if you have Colt McCoy. If you don't have Colt McCoy, then fine. Then just use Rodgers tonight. If you don't want to wait for Kyler Murray and you're nervous, I'm using Rodgers over Mariota, over Heineke, over Goff.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Sure. I just, I just, if that's it. That's it. Sorry. We got to the right spot. We took the scenic route to get there.
Yes.
But
Yes. We are not playing any
let's
of those guys over Rodgers, but it's up to you if you want to wait it out and maybe just go with Colt McCoy. That's not the word. You've mildly convinced me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mildly convince you.
Let's
keep going
Yes.
here. Who's next?
Caliber Reigns. Thank you for advice throughout the season. You're welcome very much. Starting Garrett Wilson at flex. Lazard, Paris Campbell, Rondo Moore, Hubbard, all available on waivers. Hold steady or grab one of them. I like a lot of those.
I know, me too. I'd go with Lazard.
Yeah.
I'd add Lazard here.
Exactly
Absolutely.
what I would do. Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. We're in agreement. Next
question from Jock 10101. I appreciate these weekly previews and Q&A. Thank you. We appreciate you showing up. With Kyler questionable for Superflex, half PPR pick between these two. What do we do? Wait.
I don't even need to. Just wait between Colt McCoy and Kyler Murray. It's a super flex.
Yeah.
You want a quarterback there. You do.
Yeah.
You just do. I love Mike Williams. I love Darnell Mooney this week. Give me some Christian Watson. Are you giving me those guys over a quarterback in a super flex league? No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. There was a lot of flashy names there and good matchups, but yeah.
Oh, but you get to pick two.
Oh, you get to pick two.
You get to pick two. So it'll either be Kyler or Colt McCoy, and then the other one, Mike Williams, Darnell Mooney, Christian Watson. I'm just gonna take Cortland Sutton out because I hate the Broncos. That game's like 16-10 at the best.
Again, harsh. You really don't think that we could get a little bit of upside here against Vegas?
We can try, but I'm not doing it. I am staying so far away from this game. You know what? And it's also because I've been burned in season long. I've been burned in DFS, and I've been burned in survivor pools as well. The Denver, LA, or Las Vegas, Raiders, Broncos is always a weird ass game. It's always a crapshoot. Last time it was Josh Jacobs running all over the Denver Broncos. Okay. You've got a horrible offense in Denver. I won't do it. You're going to do it. You're going to go to Sutton here.
I am.
You're going to use Sutton.
I am.
Terrible.
No, I mean, like in theory, because I have no Sutton. So this is a theory question because I don't roster.
We're in a fight. We're in a fight right now. I'm not even speaking to you.
I don't mind Sutton this week. Although, technically speaking, I might go with Darnell Mooney over Sutton. I'm a little bit skeptical of Mike. Again, I just need more information on Mike Williams. I got to have more on Mike Williams. That would be like a yes to Mike Williams if I was good to go with him. But if not, I like Darnell Mooney this week.
Yes. Agreed.
Next question from Lentil, full PPR, Pat Fryermuth or Gerald Everett this week?
I'm going to go with Fryermuth.
Same. Yep. That was a easy one for me. Next question from NYA Zion. How would you rate these guys for PPR this week? Traylon Burks, Drake, Kenyon. When you guys say Drake, I get so thrown for a second. So Traylon Burks, Kenyon Drake, Kadarius Toney, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Warren. I need one. I'm going to end up needing one for receiver and two for flex. So we're looking for one receiver and two flex options.
I'm going to say Drake, Toney, and Cooks.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Drake is a little.
I can't trust Burks tonight, and I'm not gonna use Jalen Warren until I see Najee Harris is out, or that you're telling me you're guaranteeing me that Jalen Warren's gonna see double-digit touches.
That's the kicker there. So I'm locked in with Drake and Toney. But I will pivot to, unless we get some kind of Gus Edwards, full capacity, all the snaps kind of thing. But other than that, if Najee Harris is out, I would do Jalen Warren over Brandon Cooks. Next question from Caliber Reigns. One more question. When should managers pick up, good question. When should managers look to pick up Daniel Bellinger? Looking to dump Robert Tonyan.
Oh, now. Do it. Do it today.
Yeah. Go ahead. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean we're so depleted at tight end. Might as well go ahead and jump on it. That makes sense. Next question from Home Run. Would you trade CMC for Tyreek? I need a wide receiver one loaded at running back.
I always have to ask, what does loaded at running back mean? Because sure as shit, every single time you say they're loaded at running back, and they start throwing like Darrell Henderson at you and Elijah Mitchell and those kind of names. So we need more context for that. I mean, CMC for Tyreek Hill is a fair trade, and I wouldn't mind it, especially with the volume that Tyreek gets and the fact that CMC will share. But I need to see what loaded at running back means here.
Yes, I want to see that too. Let us know, Home Run, because that's a good trade. I'm okay with that. If you really are loaded at...
he DM'd me too. Let's see. Does it say it in the DM? Does it happen? All right, we get a little bit more clarity here. All right. He's got Eckler, JFC. Look at that, and I'm so in tune with the Discord folk here. So this is what he's got. He's got Eckler, Jacobs, CMC, Ramondre Stevenson, Jeff Wilson, Cordell Patterson, and Jamal Williams. That is stacked at running back. Yes. And that means I would trade CMC for Tyreek Hill 100%.
It is definitely stacked at running back. Good for you. I love seeing those Jeff Wilsons and Ramondres, and yeah. If you did the right things, you can be very stacked at running back this year. This is a fun year at running back with some of those late rounds and waiver wire guys. I love it. Next question from Playoffs. Great show every week, Tara and Howard. Thank you very much, Playoffs. Who do you like this week best for defense? Arizona, Minnesota, San Francisco, or the Jets?
Jeez, I don't like any of these options.
I don't mind the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Jets against the Patriots. It'll probably be a low-scoring, run-heavy game. That's probably the way to go. Yeah, I don't really like any of these options, but so I'll go with the Jets too. Yeah. See if Pittsburgh's available off your waiver wire. That's a sneaky one against the Bengals this week.
Yes.
Super sneaky.
I agree. Next question from one more from Howard. I heard McSorley could start.
Yeah. I heard McSorley could start too. I also heard that they could turn around and have Keontae Ingram taking snaps under center as well. The fact of the matter is that both Kyler Murray and Colt McCoy were back at practice today on Thursday, which means that with a Monday night football game, one of those guys is going to play. There is zero chance Arizona wants to go into this with Trace McSorley as their QB.
Yeah, one of them's going to be good to go. One of them will suck it up and get out there for sure.
Indeed.
Question from Lentil. Follow-up question. I am dropping Hines for Huntley. Is Virgil on Denver worth a thought? No, they're without. No. The only person. Now, granted, I think I saw an injury thing on Kendall Hinton. But if any one of them I was leaning towards, Kendall Hinton would probably be the one. But
I hear he's banged up and questionable for the game too. Yeah. I mean, it's a deep dart throw. Like let's not forget. Yes, the Raiders do suck, but so do the Broncos, and so does their offense. Like Nathaniel Hackett is just, I mean, the play calling is atrocious. It's atrocious right now. I mean, who's the OC? Is it Justin Outen? Is that who it is over there? I mean, it's brutal. It's so bad. Like, why would you even want to invest in that?
Yeah. You're hurting me. You're coming at my Greg Dulcich comment. that's who could see a little uptick.
I think it's so funny, right? Everybody wants to be in on Greg Dulcich. And Pemba keeps saying Dulcich's name to me. Pemba, so here's what happened. So I was doing the example lineups last week. All right, this is just between us. All right, nobody say anything. So I'm doing the example lineups last week, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, all right, I've got a lot of Dalton Schultz here. You know what? There's Tyler Higbee. Now, I have Higbee listed in the stacks, and I've got Higbee, but I don't have Higbee in the playbook, and I don't usually put players who aren't in the playbook. But I wanted to pivot off of Dalton Schultz, and we had the money for Higbee. And I said, well, listen, I think that, Higbee could be a good option. I stated the case for it, and I left it at that. And then Pemba comes to me, he's like, dude, you got Higbee in the example lineups. Are you sure about that? He's not in the playbook. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay with it. And he's like, dude, I mean, Greg Dulcich is, just there. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so if you want to just say we've got to use the playbook guys only, well, then, okay, fine. Go ahead. You can make the change from Higbee to Dulcich. But I will call you out publicly on air, which I did Sunday night, if Tyler Higbee outproduces Greg Dulcich. I like Dulcich. I love the hair. I don't love the hair as much as I love Mac Hollins' hair, but I still like Greg Dulcich's hair. Dude, Mac Hollins, have you ever noticed that the fact that dude completely balls out when his hair is like free?
Yes.
And when it's all braided up, he's like the worst receiver ever.
It's like the Amari Cooper off on, like away. Yeah, yes. These are legitimate things. These are legitimate things that you have to pay attention to.
Let the fro fly.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the big hair. That's what like Hollins like walks with like some swagger like that. He's got it all braided up. I mean, it's like you're all tense, you're tight, your scalp is all just like pulled together. Not that I've like braided my hair at all or know what that feels like, but I can only imagine that it feels a little constrictive. A little bit. I
hear you. Jumping back to the questions. Question from playoffs. Full PPR, Mooney, Boyd, Gabe Davis at flex. Many thanks.
Mooney. I love Tyler Boyd. I do. I don't know if Minka Fitzpatrick's going to be back or not. What my problem is I have a hard time trusting Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
He's just too boom or bust for me.
The move to the Dome made me pause for a bit, though.
Yeah, I hear that.
Made me pause for a bit, but I'm with you. I do like Mooney. Mooney.
Oh, it's so hard, Tara.
It is hard.
It's so difficult.
This is difficult. So difficult. Next question from Ali Saga. Happy birthday to your wife, Howard.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I've convinced my wife that I've used some connections of mine in the sports industry that she needs to sit and watch the game tonight here on her birthday instead of us going out. I haven't used any connections. I just need to watch the game for work purposes, right. And I just don't want to be the ass who says, "No, honey, I got to stay home and work. I can't go out for your birthday." So she thinks, and so that way, when she like gets up to go pee, then I can be like, "Oh, you missed it."
Exactly. Now
I'm so sorry. And then I tried to pause it for the DVR, but it didn't record. I'm so sorry. Oh well, happy birthday.
Yes. Delete this footage.
She's not watching this.
Next question from Home Run, follow up on the CMC trade. Okay, got that.
Oh wait, we didn't get Allie's question though.
Oh, we didn't? Oh, I didn't. Sorry. Question for Flex. 1 point PPR. Donta Foreman, Michael Pittman, Tony Pollard, and George Pickens.
I guess I'm gonna go with Foreman. I don't like the matchup against the Ravens. But I think Matt Ryan and the Colts get their asses whooped by the Eagles this week. Right? I think they get crushed. Zeke's back, so that limits Pollard.
Bad matchup.
I like Pickens. And I don't love that Cincinnati secondary, but I feel like Foreman is just gonna have all those touches.
Yeah, I'm on the Foreman side as well. Question from nope, we've already got that one. Do you think Colt McCoy can put up numbers similar to Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, we said, relatively close. Within 5 fantasy points should be fine.
Yeah.
And then comment from Lentil, appreciate you guys doing this and being part of our dinner every Thursday. Thank you.
What's for dinner? I'm starving right now.
Can we get a piece? Something.
Right? I want to know what Lentil's making. I hope it's not lentils.
I like lentil soup, though. I do.
I do like a good lentil
kind of person.
Soup.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right. Before we get out of here, I'm going to rapid fire off of our friends from the old YouTube. Here we go. Christian Watson or DJ Moore?
Christian Watson. I'm not feeling good about DJ Moore in Baker.
I agree. Mr. Gus17 says that I'm looking good, but next to Tera, not so much.
We're a dynamic duo.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. What, Tera's better looking than me? Yeah. Thank you. Let's see. Somebody's got limited practices. Should I trade Cortland Sutton and Cole Kmet for Mike Williams, or is he too much of a re-injury risk?
No, I like that.
I like that too.
I mean, Kmet has an injury right now too, so hey.
Sing it.
Yeah.
Sing it, sister. Here we go.
I like that.
8-man standard league, lost Cup to an injury, so I'm going to cry about that.
Yes.
And I've got T. Higgins at wide receiver 1. Also want to upgrade over Kyler Murray. Got offered Amari Cooper, Joe Burrow, Cole Kmet for Kelsey. I ain't trading Kelsey for all the tea in China. Nope.
No.
I just won't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to roll with. I like Kmet, but I kind of would be scared to roll with Kmet rest of the season when you've got Kelsey. And is there really that big of a difference between Kyler and Burrow? Like, they both have their ups and downs. Now, obviously, the ceiling is a lot higher for Burrow, but overall, I'm just kind of like, it's a little bit of a wash for me.
Agreed. Malcolm Revamp wants to know, do y'all think Justin Fields explodes again this Sunday? Like spontaneous combust explode, or like balls out for 150 yards on the ground and 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air? Because I think that's what he does against Atlanta.
Yes, but give me 3 touchdowns through the air. I mean, this is going to be a massacre.
You got it. 3 touchdowns. What if we go 2 through the air and 2 on the ground?
Yeah, I'll do that.
And 150 yards each.
Yes. I will co-sign on that one. This is going to be a massacre.
Mark it down.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Watson or Cordarrelle Patterson?
Ooh. It's a good matchup for Cordarrelle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Cordarrelle Patterson.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
Swift or Drake?
You got to go Drake. I hate that so much.
I hate the Drake too.
Oh.
Now, I will say this: Jamal Williams is banged up a little bit.
That's true. That is true.
Maybe. Still like the Drake. We're gonna have to wait and see. You got like here you go. At It's Tera Time. At Roto Buzz Guy. Who is this asking this? This is Sober Thoughts. Tweet us on Saturday, because by Saturday, both Tera and I will know what Gus Edwards' status is, as well as Jamal Williams' status. Both banged up, both could play. We'll have to see. So we're going to wait on that. Here we go. 7-3, full PPR. So David Banks just wants to brag that his team is so cool. He's got Fields, he's got Gus Edwards, Jonathan Taylor, Stephon Diggs, Michael Pittman, TJ Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. What does any of that, David, have to do with the question of whether or not you should start Peoples-Jones or Kadarius Toney?
Regardless of that lineup, you're going Kadarius Toney over Peoples. Now, I like Peoples-Jones, but the upside lies with Toney. Safe floor, though.
And here you go. I agree. The final question. Here it is, Tara. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Oh, no, it's not the final question. They snuck one in more. I'm going to save that one then for the last one. Here's one more over here. Dameon Pierce or Aaron Jones? Oh, should I trade Dameon Pierce for Aaron Jones?
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Mm-hmm. Why not? Oh, somebody snuck another one in here.
Sticking around.
Need 2 for Standard League. Pick 2. Toney, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Swift, or Gus?
Well, Toney, for sure.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Oh, Standard League, not Deontay.
Yeah, I go Pickens over Deontay Pickens for that.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Swift.
Yeah, touchdown is a possibility with him. He has to get it from like 10 yards out. He's not allowed at the goal line. That's my big pet peeve.
No. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid you give him a goal line touch.
Awful. How
And
dare
here's the
us.
final one from our good friend Rob Fossil, who wants to know full point PPR, Robert Tunyon or Greg Dulcich?
Oh, you know what I'm saying. Greg Dulcich. Let's go. Let's go.
100%. Great stuff. Love it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All
Oh,
right. There
man.
you go. We just whipped through all the questions. We be good.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for the fantastic questions. Thank you for the comments. We are going to sign off now so that everyone can go enjoy their dinner. Hopefully, Lentil gives us some lentils for our dinner.
She
And you
says it's
guys,
Chinese food
ooh,
tonight.
Chinese food. Yeah, I wish I had that.
All right, me too. Give me a little
Yeah.
General Tso's chicken right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same. That's one of my go-tos. Mm-hmm. Oh man, now I'm jealous and I'm hungry. So we're gonna sign off and we're gonna go eat and we're gonna watch the Thursday night game between Tennessee and Green Bay, and hopefully it's a fantastic one. And as always, guys, be sure to come. I'm gonna say come back next week, but do we have a Thursday night next week? We'll figure that out. We'll talk about it.
If
Join
you're
us.
available Wednesday, I don't think we're going to do
Yeah.
a Thursday one on Thanksgiving, but if you're available on Wednesday night, Tara, we
Let's
could
do
maybe
it.
do one on Wednesday evening.
Let's do a Wednesday night, Thursday pregame show. We will do it. Nice.
There it is.
All
Done.
right.
See?
So
Look at
join us
that.
next week for Wednesday night. You heard it live here. We will see you. Go enjoy the game. Fantastic. For Howard, I am Tara. Good luck, everybody.